Alright guys, welcome back. This is Bad Senator. So, in about 5 hours, the polls in this district they're looking at, Pennsylvania 18, are closing. They're closing because of a special election there in Pennsylvania, pitting Rick Saccone against Conor Lamb. You probably know all that already. So let's get right down to what you probably do not know. So, right here is the district. You're looking at it right here. Now, this district was overwhelmingly for Trump in 2016. It voted for Trump by over 20 points. And, in fact, this district was so Republican that the last congressional race here, a Democrat didn't even bother running. Think about that for a minute. And now think about how competitive the seat has become. Polls are coming out saying that the Democrat is leading by like 3 or 6 points. And then polls are coming out saying Rick Saccone's up by a little bit. So it is really kind of remarkable how competitive this race has become. And I'm going to tell you what to watch as the poll results come in. Obviously, New York Times. I usually have CNN on my TV. And on my phone, I'm looking at New York Times election results coming in through there as well. That's how I usually do election nights. That's how I did it in 2016. I did that for Virginia. I did it for Alabama. And I'm probably going to do it again tonight. So, yeah, anyway, in this special election, the most competitive one before the midterms, what you're going to need to watch is you're going to need to watch the Pittsburgh metro area. Pittsburgh metropolitan area is going to be where Conor Lamb is going to win. So, obviously, as you see here, Pittsburgh is not in PA18. It's its own congressional district. But its suburbs, that you can see, are in PA18. So, what you need to watch out for here is, like, some of these border areas right here with PA18 in the Pittsburgh district are areas that actually did go to Hillary Clinton in 2016. And if Conor Lamb really runs it up big in Allegheny County, and that's the Pittsburgh suburbs, so Allegheny County, that's where Conor Lamb is going to win. So remember that, Allegheny County. That's where it really needs to run it up big. And it would also help if, in the rest of the district, Rick Saccone got, like, lower vote totals than Trump did. Like, Trump won in some of the other counties. Like, I was watching, like, Fox News earlier. They were saying that Donald Trump won this county. I forget what the name of the county was, but it was, like, by over 20, 30 points. And if that's only, like, 10 or 15 points, that's a very, very bad sign for Rick Saccone in some of the outlying counties here. So Conor Lamb's probably going to win if he can really run it up huge in Allegheny County, and if the margins for Saccone and the rest of the district are only like 10 or 15%. That's a winning recipe for Conor Lamb. Now, how will Rick Saccone win? Rick Saccone wins by having his margins in these outlying areas comparable to that of Trump's. And you have low turnout from, in here, the Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh suburbs. So that's how he's going to win. If Rick Saccone's going to win, it's going to be by getting big Republican turnout and big margins comparable to Trump's in 2016 in these outlying areas, and in the Pittsburgh suburbs, the turnout's lower, or at least he's actually being a little bit competitive. That's how Rick Saccone would probably win. Who's going to win? Who really knows at this point? Now, I'm going to say something. I think that this race is pretty much pure toss-up. It would be rather foolish to give it a characteristic because it's really like that close that would be almost misleading in a way to give a rating. But being the person that I am going to say that I think Conor Lamb does have a very, 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 very slight advantage. Conor Lamb, I think, has a slight advantage because I said earlier that Conor Lamb was the one that was running the bad campaign, but actually it turns out that Rick Saccone was actually the one running the bad campaign. Conor Lamb made a few mistakes, and Rick Saccone's entire campaign, in essence, was a mistake. Now, before you all, hate me on me, think about it, though. Rick Saccone didn't get support of any one of the major steel unions in Pennsylvania. I think it was only, one coal mining union he got endorsements from. That's how people win elections in this district. And if all of the unions are going for the opposite party, that's not good. And then he really ran a bad campaign. And then Conor Lamb really ran a good campaign. Like, he is pro-gun. A lot of people out here own guns. Trust me, I've been to this district. People have a lot of gun shows. And he posed himself as, like, almost a blue dog in a way. Kind of, like, distancing himself from Nancy Pelosi. Kind of, like, independent Democrat. Who, like, he opposes... Not opposes, he, like, supports the Second Amendment. And among other things. So... yeah, I think that's why this campaign is so close. Just Saccone ran a really bad campaign, and Conor Lamb was a really good candidate. That was why this race is the point it is. It's also because Trump is unpopular. And that's the thing, though. Republicans, like, especially with, like, the tariff thing, Rick Saccone coming out in support of that could really, like, offend some of the unions. So... I think Rick Saccone's best bet is to separate voters from the unions, and Conor Lamb's best hope is to run up big in the Pittsburgh suburbs and stay with their union. And, just turn out really big everywhere. Turn out the union vote in the outlying areas, turn out the suburban liberals in the Pittsburgh area. That's how he could win. And, that's my thoughts on the race. Now... thanks for watching. Bye.